Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are getting very close to the end of the game here. Unfortunate, the Communist Party won with 52.9% of the vote. That reminds me, I wanted to say that when I loaded up the game, I don't know if it's still that way, it may have changed because we ticked forward, but when I loaded up the game, we were at 0 legitimacy. Are we still there? Okay, no, it came up to 65. Okay, that's a little bit better. We had the option to go up to 100, but the election was in one day. I think the, stopping right as the election was happening was what caused it to be kind of funky. But it seems to be okay. We're as good as we're going to get right now at 65, and I think that's reasonably fine. No real problem there whatsoever. Oil and glass are expensive, and so are radios and automobiles. We did get the tech to make radios, didn't we? No, we're working on that tech. Okay. That's what it is. Cool. So I wanted to check in on Peru, Bolivia here and make sure that they are still... Oh, their defensive pact with Russia is gone. They're still in the customs union with Russia. So I think it's still pretty likely that Russia defends them. Right? I feel like that's reasonably likely. Only 34 reasons away from getting them into our customs union. We might be able to get there. Indeed. We could even potentially bankroll them. And that would give us a really big monopoly on South America. That would be really nice. Like, that would be a diplomatic coup right there. I do think that it's reasonably likely at this point that Russia still defends them. We would have to get the relations down far enough to find out, and I don't want to do that. 15 reasons not to do a defensive pact. That's okay. 26 reasons not to do an alliance. Now, that's interesting, too. That's very interesting. So we might be able to do something with that. Education has been increased to level 5 on the institution. That's fantastic. And we have unused construction production. That's to be expected. Cool. We could, in theory, think about expanding our construction, but to what end? If we're not going to fully max out what we have, why would we get more? So that's an interesting question. We've got about 7 years left here in this game. And Social Security now goes up to level 5 as well. So that should bring up our standard of living somewhat, and our our literacy up quite a lot. I wish it would bring up our legitimacy. That would be nice. But alas, that's not going to happen. A socialist demagogue, huh? Okay, cool. So that seems reasonably fine. We are currently position number 8 in the world, holding the rank of great power. We are the smallest great power by a decent chunk of prestige. We have eclipsed France economically, but their prestige is quite a lot higher. I'm guessing due to their military projection or something along those lines. Speaking of which, that's something that we could put into our construction. We could build additional barracks here. Building, say, 5 in Buenos Aires, 10 in Cordoba, 10 in Uruguay would be an interesting start. Now, those will get built very quickly, right? I'm not too concerned about that. We'll run a deficit for a little bit, but this will push up our power projection a little bit. That's important. We're at 10 million population right now, 10.1, actually, and that's coming up nicely as well. Our standard of living is fantastic. Currently an average of 23.4, number 1 worldwide. We love it. We're about to crest 200 million on our GDP. Beautiful. So we'll get that going. Yes, small arms, oil, radios, automobiles, those are all expensive. There's 41 weeks on our construction queue right now. Let's just move these guys up just to make it look like our construction queue is a little shorter than it actually is. It's because of this electrics industry. There we go. Now there's 33 weeks left on it. We have all of those barracks already done. So militarily, that brings us up to 130 battalions, and I think that's going to continue to rise up. over the next little while. So we'll keep an eye on that. Our GDP is up over 200 million now. This is looking great. We are definitely in a very good position at this point. Our constructions are going nicely. I would like to move up this textile mill just to keep this total time left low. Cool. I wish that this wasn't calculated this way. This feels like unnecessary busy work, but okay. So we just keep doing this, right? Every time this comes in, we do another one. And that's just to make sure that we're using all of our construction, is the primary goal of that. Actually, we definitely can expand our construction. And it should all be in the same place. We take this all the way... Oh, I didn't necessarily mean to get these built up. Let's stop construction of all of these. This is already maybe a bit much. But we'll see how this feels. That'll definitely be interesting. No doubt about that. We're moving these guys up a bit. Okay, this is probably fine. Yeah, this is fine. We'll let this go for a while. And these construction sectors will finish. We're doing very well financially, so we know for a fact that we can afford some construction expansion, but this is a major construction expansion. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. 204 million is our GDP now, and it's just continuing to soar. Glass is already expensive, so we should probably preemptively start an expansion of our glassworks here. Yeah. We're going to take that up to size 15. Beautiful. So that'll be fine. We'll get those glassworks done. The constructions will finish up before then. Okay, 34K coming out of the investment pool, or rather going into the investment pool right now. We've got so much in our investment pool. Gold depleted in Cajamarca. It now can no longer support gold fields. Okay, that's not our territory. So we're reasonably okay with that. Steel is now considered expensive. And now we're pulling out of the investment pool. That's good. That's exactly what we want. Money going into the gold reserves and out of the investment pool. It's much easier to spend as gold reserves than it is as investment pool. So we love it. We should probably consider bumping up our steel mills as well. We're going to take Buenos Aires up to 3. And we'll call that good for now. We'll let the rest auto-expand. So this is 27 weeks. I'm going to bump up this glassworks and these steel mills. There we go. Fantastic. So we're definitely pulling out of the investment pool quickly, right? Almost 100,000 a week now. That's okay. We're completely fine with this. Once these glassworks and steel mills finish up, that will get better. And man, look at that. 210 million. We're now number 7 worldwide in GDP. And number 7 worldwide. We have now eclipsed... Okay, we're jockeying for position with France. But we're working on it. Cool. So we're constructing, like, tremendously quickly at this point. No doubt about that. Our glassworks are about 13 weeks away. Our steel mill's 18. Keep in mind, you build things in parallel in this game. It's kind of weird. The way that you can't build things faster, you can just build more things. I don't know. It's kind of bizarre, but whatever. So we need to move this munitions plant up so that we get some automatic queue happening. There we go. Much better. And looking at this, we can just move up this furniture manufactory, and boom, we'll get more. There we go. So we've got a number queued now, and if we notice that we're not using our full construction capacity, that's what we'll need to do. Let's check in on Peru, Bolivia real quick. 34 reasons to not change to our customs union. 10 reasons to not form a defensive pact. That's getting interesting. That's getting really interesting. We could bankroll them here. We're still improving relations with them, though, right? Actually, no, we're not. No, I don't want to damage relations. I don't want to expel their diplomats. No, 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 no. I want to bankroll them. There we go. So that's going to cost us some money, and we may have to cancel that eventually. But for now, I'm okay with it. Completely and totally fine. The French are no longer interested in Brazil. That's fascinating. And we still have all this queued. That's looking good. Looking very good, in fact. Now, we are negative at this moment. That is because we're putting into our investment pool rather than pulling out of it. That's fine. I'm not concerned about this. That will flip around eventually. And that's because we're expanding things like these banana plantations, right? We can't pull from the investment pool for that. So that's fine. Looking at our peasant numbers are holding fairly steady, which is remarkable considering our tremendous amount of construction. Our just ridiculous growth levels. This level off isn't amazing. Let's see what happens on this next month tick. Or rather, week tick. Okay, it got better. Noted. So yeah, a lot of this is investment pool right now, or just expensive goods, right? Like steel. What all is expensive right now? Oil, steel, coal. Yeah, to be expected. The price of steel isn't actually that bad. But yeah, our construction goods are tremendously expensive. We're not shocked about this. Not at all. We can eat up our gold reserves for the time being. And we're pouring money into our investment pool. That is most of it, to be honest. It's just that we're not pulling out of our investment pool. So this seems fine. Completely and totally. 28 weeks here means we move this up so that we queue up more things. And what do we have here? Inefficient agriculture. Follow their advice, get migration attraction. Sounds good. We hit 4 million loyalists. That's a good sign. And the radicals are dropping down a bit. Okay, our GDP is contracting a little here, it looks like. No? I don't think so. Not quite. The Great Train Smash, huh? Okay, pasteurization, we'll get to that. Interesting. Everyone enjoy the spectacle. 90% chance. Fantastic. So from here, we do see some expensive goods. No doubt about that. Low market access in Corrientes and in Chaco. Do we have that under control right now? No, we don't. So let's get that going. That is absolutely a top priority to get these railways done. And then I wanted to pop in over here and just see what we've got going on here. Okay, nothing too major there. We can definitely go down to refrigerated storage here for our livestock ranches, and we definitely do so. For fishing wharves, refrigerated storage, but we're already on refrigerated rail cars rather. Let's go ahead and do that. Cool. Subsistence farms, yup, and we should be auto-expanding our railways. Beautiful. Looks good. Looks good. So we're working on tackling some of this pricing issue, right? And some of this market access issue. That's being worked on. Glass is still quite expensive, although the price hasn't gone up as much as I would have expected, considering how much we expanded our construction industry. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. Although our GDP did go back down to number 8 worldwide. We're jockeying for number 7. Got it. So that's fine. We are not currently at our max construction. It should queue up more here automatically. Right? Yeah, it queued up a coffee plantation anyway. But yeah, we can see now things are much better financially. I like it. That'll be fine. So our population, our peasant number is starting to shrink. There's no doubt about that. Checking in on Peru, Bolivia here. Would they be willing to form a defensive pact yet? Minus 11. Okay. So we need to bring this up from amicable. 3% per day. So plus 1 on 29 August. That'll be just a couple days here. And we're hoping that one of these days, they'll be willing to accept this and we can stop bankrolling them. But even with bankrolling them, we're now turning a profit. Although we're not technically, if you count removing from our investment pool. But there's so much money in our investment pool that I realistically think that we'll be fine for a very long time. We'll get there. We'll be positive long before we run out of investment pool money. So that'll be okay. Actually, we're just straight up positive right now. So that looks great. We're going to finish up some steel mills here. These railways will be done soon. And yeah, market access in those 2 locations is definitely dropping. So those will be done in 9 weeks, right? That'll be fine. Textile mills, yeah, that's all well and good. We're still position 7. And position 7 here. Our GDP has definitely not tremendously grown for the moment. That said, I think it will come back once we get this market access under control. I think that's our primary issue there. So 4.1 million loyalists here. Excellent. That's looking very, very good. Our standard of living is continuing to climb. And our GDP is going up, just not as quickly as it has been. Looks okay. Looks completely and totally okay to me. I think this is fine. As far as economic crises go, this isn't much of one. Armed forces. Okay. Cool. No problem there whatsoever. Yeah, this negative here is literally just investment pool shenanigans. I'm not concerned. Shenaniganery will occur. Checking in on Peru, Bolivia. They are currently at 57. Okay. That'll take a while before that comes up enough. So, Brazil. Not a whole lot that we need to do here, to be honest. Brazil would need to be at peace to make into a protectorate. They have 48 reasons not to. That's fine. Not too concerned about that. I don't think we're going to do anything else major militarily. So it's fine. We're just working our way up the Great Power list at this point, is what we're looking to do. Which, considering our population, is remarkable. Like, look at our population compared to everyone above us. Yeah. The fact that our GDP is comparable to the East India Company while being at less than 10% of their population is insane. Look at their standard of living. It's 11. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I don't know what they're doing. Whatever they're doing, it's not working. Cool. So I'm going to move this up so that we get additional queues happening here. We're not at our max construction speed. Okay, 7 weeks. That sounds good. Yep. Excellent. We can queue up even more, in fact. There we go. Okay, looks like that's all that we're going to queue for right now. That's fine. Not concerned. So we're seeing that radio input goods shortage here. There's also automobiles that are expensive. I want to check in on the Buenos Aires motor industry. Okay. Radio has just been unlocked, and that is definitely something we're going to work on. I want to come down over here and maybe work on oil turbine. Compression ignition? Compression ignition. That's 4 years to research. That's probably going to be the last tech that we're going to research, but that's okay. We're going to hop over to our buildings now, and we're of course going to switch our electrics industries over to radio production. Now, we might be short on telephones from doing that. We'll keep an eye on that. We could theoretically do something like that, doubling our size there. I think that's okay. And for our motor industries, I'd like to bump this up to 10. This is specifically our industry that produces automobiles, which are expensive. So let's get that going. That'll keep us busy for a while in terms of our construction. Cool. And all of that will pull out of our investment pool. So that will sound very, very good to me anyway. Peru, Bolivia, you are up to plus 60. Noted. Minus 44 here, huh? Well, once we have a defensive pact, things will be a little bit better. Minus 41, that seems to be getting worse. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that situation. It's fine for the moment. We're up to 227 million now. Looks like we are over our blip. So that's good. That was definitely a blip in our economy. Nothing more. Telephones are currently expensive. We knew that that would happen. That's why we're expanding our electrics industries. Cool. And this is 26 weeks. We need to bump that glassworks up. There we go. Excellent. All is looking great. Absolutely phenomenal, in fact. Yeah, this looks wonderful. Economically, this is going great. France wants an alliance with us. Honestly, they're weaker than us. By a substantial margin. Their GDP is about half of ours. They have fewer regular battalions. They have a lot of conscript battalions, but that's an army power projection of 1804 compared to our 3132. So that's roughly half of our power projection. I think we declined this, to be honest. I don't think we ally France here. We have nothing to gain from that and only things to lose. Okay, fantastic. We just hit 230 million for our GDP. The East India Company is at 257.1 million. That's looking great. Our GDP is so strong. Imagine if we had population. One of these games, we should try playing as China and just seeing what we can get done. With this population, oh, that's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. We should try that sometime. For now, of course, we need to finish off Argentina. We've got a couple of years left here, and I'm guessing there'll be either 2 or 3 more episodes in this series. Something along those lines. Our GDP has dropped a little bit because we're not constructing. That's why. We'll bump that on up. And that should auto-queue things. I really don't like the way that the auto-queue works with requiring it to be less than 26 weeks. It's weird and fiddly. But there we go. So our GDP immediately goes right back up, right? That loss in the GDP was from not constructing. So that's okay. We do have a state in turmoil right now. But otherwise, this is all looking absolutely fine. No issues. And this glassworks can be moved up. And there we go. Beautiful. This textile mill can be moved up as well. So our motor industries here and our electrics industries are going to be finishing fairly soon. 3 and 10 weeks respectively. Oh wow, we're pulling out of both our gold reserves and our investment pool right now. That's remarkable. Interesting. Well, it's fine. We have plenty of both. By the time our motor industries and electrics industries here come online, I'm expecting this will likely turn around. Now, some of this is unrealized taxes. And that's just because of our leader. I was hoping that leader would go away with the last election, but unfortunately it didn't happen. We have reached 72% literacy. That's good. We would like to get up to close to 100% literacy by the end of the game. I don't know that that's going to happen. We should have prioritized that sooner. That's definitely a lesson learned here. No doubt about that. So East India Company... Oh, wow. Look at that prestige difference between us and France now. We were jockeying with them not too long ago. Poor France. Wow. They lost a lot of prestige. We're about to surpass the East India Company in GDP. And that's great. I would also like to point out that our previous Prussia campaign exceeded this GDP that Germany's got there, despite Germany having quite a lot more land than we had. We didn't really go after Austria very much in that campaign, and that's something that I do want to work on in my Victoria play. I want to get a little bit more aggressive and fight more wars. I feel like that's holding us back a little bit. But for the moment, I don't feel like there's good options for it. We've mostly taken what we want. And actually, I wanted to look at Peru-Bolivia's setup here. Plus 66? Noted. 24 reasons not to change to our customs union, and 36 reasons not to form a defensive pact. That's fine. No real concerns there. We do need to move up this power plant so that we actually get some construction queued up. There we go. That's a little bit better. Fantastic. We'll move up these railways as well. There we go. We're still not quite fully queued up here, so I do expect to see maybe another one come in here. And that'll be reasonably fine. We can support more declared interests. There's our behaviorism. Minus 5% bureaucracy population cost multiplier. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I am noting that telephones are still expensive. It looks like they're not too bad, though. Low market access in Patagonia and Buenos Aires. We're already working on both of those, so no problem whatsoever there. This trade route is unproductive. We'll get rid of it. Okay. We've still got that rubber and oil input goods shortage. We knew that would happen. There isn't too much we can do about that. So checking in on Peru, Bolivia here. 23 reasons not to change to our customs union. I think once we make it up to friendly here, that'll change, is my guess. Okay, just checking in here. Looks fine for the moment. 237.8 is our GDP. Well, that needs to come up further, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue climbing in the Great Power List. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.